Hey, good morning, guys. How are you doing today? Good morning, online. Yes, I'm doing good. Thanks for asking, Supriya. All right, so what did we discuss in our last class? IAM and groups. Okay. Okay, let's have a quick shootout round. Okay. So can we say IAM is used for security purpose? Okay. And IAM is global or regional? Global. IAM is free or billable? Free. And there are mainly two types of users. What are those? Root user and IAM user. Okay. And if you want to share your root account, would you share your email and password? No. What will you do? Create a IAM user and share it. And if you want to secure your account, how do you secure your account? By setting up MFA. What is MFA? Multi-factor authentication. This MFA is only for root or individual IAM users or for both, everyone? For both. And which is the app that we install in our phone? Google Authenticator. Okay. And is it recommended to use the root account for your daily activities? No. What you need to use? IAM account you need to use. Okay. And mainly there are how many ways to access AWS? Two ways. What are those? Console access, programmatical access. What are those? Console access, programmatical access. How do you log into the console access? Using email ID and then password. And how do you log into the programmatical access? Using keys. What keys? Access key, secret key. Okay. And the keys are user specific or not? Yes. So keys are assigned to the individual IAM users. So would you create the keys unnecessarily? No. Based on the requirement, you create the keys. And whenever you create the keys, what kind of permissions it has? Same as the console or different? Same as the console. How many maximum set of keys you can have? 2 set of keys. And once the secret key is visible only for how many times? Only for one time. If the keys are lost, it is lost. Can you get it back? No. You can regenerate it. But if you regenerate, you get the same keys or new keys? New keys. Do you recommend to create keys for your root account? No. And what is an example for programmatical access? And main thing you forget. CLI. Which one? CLI. So we will talk about the CLI. We have CLI, we have SDKs, we have so many. But main thing what we talk about is CLI. What's the full form of CLI? Command line interface. Good. And then we discuss about groups. What is a group? Collection of IAM users is called a group. And can we assign the policies on the group level? Yes. And can I attach IAM users to the group? Yes. When I attach the IAM users to the group, their individual permissions will be lost? No. Additionally, the new permissions will be inherited to the IAM users. One user can be in multiple groups? Yes. And maximum how many policies you can have? 10. So there are mainly how many types of policies? 2 types. What are those? Managed policy and inline policy. What is managed policy? Created and managed by AWS. Can you also call it as predefined policies? What is inline policy? Created and managed by customer is called inline policy, or also call it as customer managed policy. And these policies are written in which format? JSON format. And do we need to learn JSON separately? Not required. So what is the tool that we have to generate the JSON code? Visual Editor. Which one? Visual Editor. And if I want to identify any resource in the policy, how do you identify? Using? Not RN. ARN. Which one? What is the full form of ARN? American resource? You are not flipping. Huh? See, now you got one answer, right? From certification question. Unnecessarily, we will putting wrong answers, right? Okay, good. All right, so this is what we have discussed. And I'll ask one certification question here. Think and answer. The first thing that in your will get in your mind will be the wrong answer. Think and answer. Okay. So one big millionaire guy has set up a company, and he has hired AWS admin, you. And also he has hired a developer. I'm not going to repeat the question. And he also hired a developer. Developer wanted to access the console, AWS console. So AWS admin has created access keys and secret keys for him. So AWS admin has shared access keys and secret keys to the developer, but the developer could not able to log into the console. Why? Don't ask me, please repeat. Hmm? Mm-hmm. 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 Louder. You said something. What is that? Cheppu. Bolo. You understand the question? You know the answer, but the answer you will say, sir, it is here. It's not coming out. Huh? Correct? We used to say this in our childhood. No, answer ikkade undi sir, bayatiki ravatledu. So the question here is, you are the AWS admin. What you have created, access keys and secret keys you have created for the developer. And developer is not able to log into the console. Why? Right? Should I sit next to you in exam? So guys, okay, still not tube lights. Okay, I'm telling you the answer. Online people answered. Okay. With access keys and secret keys, can you log into the console? Then you should say that no. How do you log into the console? Using email ID and password or username and password. But this fellow at AWS admin, what he has created, access keys, secret keys he has created. But that fellow developer, he is logging into the console with access keys and secret keys. How can he log in? So AWS admin need to create what? IAM username and password need to be created and give to the developer. Then he can log into the console. Okay. So with access keys and secret keys, can you log into the console? Okay. With access keys and secret keys, can you log into the CLI? Yes. With email and password, can you log into the CLI? You're getting it? Twist, right? So this is how they'll ask the questions in certification. Okay. Nice. Okay. Let's move on to today's topic, which is very, very, very important. Nana, one more thing. What is the software that we need to install on CLI? AWS CLI. Remember, AWS CLI need to be installed on the machine. Rupali is asking, can one user be present in more than one group? Obviously, yes. We learned this yesterday. Okay, now, so Chiti, this is very important. All online people, please concentrate. I'll go very slow. Please try to catch. Okay. So the today's topic is IAM roles. Say that. What's that? IAM roles. Nana, roles. This roles concept will come throughout the AWS. It's not only in IAM. The roles concept will come throughout the services, AWS, right? So that for that reason, I want you to concentrate. I'll go very slow. Please try to concentrate. Okay. After completing the entire topic, don't say once more, right? So it's very hard. So please concentrate. I'll go very slow. Okay. Okay. So let me take one real time. This is the EC2 instance. What is this? EC2 instance. And I am taking Linux EC2 instance. Which one? This is a Linux EC2 instance. From Linux EC2 instance, can we open browser? Which Linux machine is that? In Linux machine, can you open the browser? No, it is everything is blackboard only, no? So Linux is CLI or a GUI? CLI. Can you open the browser in the Linux machine? 100% no. So, but the thing here is, from this CLI, concentrate. From this CLI, I logged into this EC2 instance. I logged into this EC2 instance. From this Linux EC2 instance, I want to access S3. What operating system it has? Linux. And what service I want to access? S3. How do you access? How do you access? If it is Windows, you open the browser and open the console. But it is Windows. No, it is Linux. So what is the software that you need to install? AWS CLI you need to install. Okay, na? So what is the software that you need to install? AWS. So remember, from terminals, from CLI, if you want to access AWS services, not only S3, any service. So what is the software that you need to install? AWS CLI. You need to download from internet, install it on the machine. Which type of machine? Windows or Linux? Linux. In Windows, you open the browser. In Windows also you have command prompt, no? Yesterday I showed you command prompt. If you want that, in that command prompt, if you want to run the AWS command, there also you need to install AWS CLI, no? Yes. So what you need to install? No? AWS CLI need to be installed. Okay, what I did, I downloaded this AWS CLI from internet. I installed on the Linux machine. How to install? We have a separate class on that. So now I have installed. How do I authenticate CLI now? Using? Using keys. Using what? Keys. How do you authenticate on the console? Using email ID and password, username and password. And how do you authenticate on the AWS CLI? Using keys. What keys are those? Access keys, secret keys. Okay, na? So what I did, I configured the keys on this machine. Okay, by the way, in order to log into one EC2 instance, or in order to log into any server or any machine, what are the things that you need? You need instance. You need to have instance IP. You need to have instance. Username should be there, and instance password. You need to have this thing, no? With IAM user, can you log into the EC2 instance? What is your answer? No. With IAM user, can you log into the EC2 instance? No. I told you yesterday, right? So with IAM user, you can log into the AWS console. Can you log into the EC2 instance? No. So IAM user is used to access AWS console, not logging into the EC2 instance. Okay, now good. So what I did is I configured the keys. Now once I configure the keys, I have authenticated to AWS now here on the machine. Yes. From here now, what can I access? Can I access S3 now? From this machine, can I access S3? Yes, because I have configured the keys. I have configured the key. And you need to give permission to the keys also. In the back end, you need to attach the policies. Okay. So now, once I have configured the keys on the machine, the keys are stored locally into the machine. Where it is getting stored? Locally onto the EC2. Is it good to store your keys on some machine? Someone Pusuk logged in. I logged into that same machine that you have logged in. Can I see your keys? Yes. Can I take the keys and can I do whatever I can do? Can I do it? Yes. Is it recommended or is it safe to configure keys on your EC2 instance? What do you say? No. If you don't configure the keys, can you access S3? No. You're getting the problem statement. So from the main problem here is problem statement is I have the Linux EC2 instance. From this Linux EC2 instance, I want to access S3. As this is the Linux EC2 instance, what is the software that you need to install? AWS CLI need to be installed. I installed AWS CLI. So once I have installed AWS CLI, I need to authenticate to AWS. So what I need to configure? Keys I need to configure. Keys meaning access keys, secret keys, I need to put on this machine. If I configure the keys on the machine, the keys are stored locally into the machine somewhere in some directory. If some other guy logged into the machine, keys are visible to others. It's a security issue. Is it recommended to configure the keys on the machine? No. If you don't configure the keys on the machine, can you access S3 from the machine? No, but I want to access S3. How? You understand the problem statement, right? So here I ask the question how. How, the answer for how is roles. How is what? Roles. What is that? Roles. Now let us talk about the roles. You understand the problem statement now? So before that, I'll write clearly for you here so that in future it will help you to read. Remember, IAM user is used to access or log into AWS console, not servers or EC2 instance. Okay. If you don't configure keys on Linux EC2 instance, can you access S3? You cannot access AWS services. I'm taking S3 as an example. Okay. That is one problem. What is another problem we have? If you configure keys on EC2 instance, keys are stored locally on the EC2 instance, which is not safe because it might be hacked or visible. Do you understand the statements now? Now you have this. So how to resolve this? Now we have a concept called roles. What is it, Nana? Roles. So roles meaning, I can say this here. See here, you can write later. See, roles meaning temporary access without credentials. What is that? Temporary access without credentials. So now what I need to do? Do I need to put the keys there? No. So you should not put the keys, but still you should be able to access S3. Did you authenticate it? No. You have not authenticated on the machine because you are not putting the keys, but still you need to access S3. Is it possible generally? No. What you need to do is you need to create a role and attach to the EC2 instance. Create a role, and I create a role here. See here. What role? IAM role. What is the role that I create? IAM role. And for IAM role, what kind of permissions that you need to give? From the EC2 instance, which services that you want to access? S3. So while creating a role, So what permissions you need to give to the role? S3 policy you need to attach. And this role, where you need to attach now? This role need to be attached to the EC2 instance. Once the role is attached to the EC2 instance, as the role has S3 permissions, without case, any user logged into this machine, he can access S3. Because what is attached in the backend? Role is attached. And what does the role has the permissions? S3. So anyone who logged into this machine can access what service only? S3. But if I want to access another RDS also, what you need to do? So instead of S3, comma, what kind of permissions you can add? RDS. So whichever the services that you want to access, you need to attach the services to the role. So I'm not giving directly keys. From the backend, I'm giving like this. Yes or no? So if I don't want, can I detach the role? If I detach the role, what will happen? Do I have access? That's why I call it as temporary access without credentials. Did I put any credentials? No. Without credentials, if you want to access AWS, what is the concept that you need to use? Roles. And understood? Is that clear? Super. Online? Super. Okay. Now I'll write it here. Roles. So what is a role? What is a role, Nana? Temporary access without credentials. Maybe we can wonder, without credentials, how can we access AWS services? Correct? So using the concept of roles. So these roles I'm attaching to whom? EC2. Like this, I can attach to any other service also. As we know about EC2, I gave the example of EC2. Okay. Can I attach role to S3 also? Can I attach role to RDS also? Can I attach roles to AFS also? Any service you can attach. If that, so roles will do actions behalf of us. Very good. If you want access resource from CLI, then only we need to create IAM role, sir. I'm giving one of the examples, Soumya. Okay. So once we go ahead in the course, then we'll get more topics. For now, to make you understand what is the role, this is the concept. Okay. So can I say, if you use the roles, do we need to configure the keys on the machine? No need. Very good. If you use the roles, we no need to configure keys on the machine. Can we say based on the permissions that you have attached to the role, those permissions are available from the machine. Correct? Whatever the permissions that you have attached to the role, the same permissions the same services you can access from the machine. Now one EC2 instance can have how many roles attached? Only one role attached. For one EC2 instance, how many roles you can attach? Only one. But this one role can be attached to multiple EC2 instances? Yes, possible. So I'll say one EC2 instance can have only one role attached at the same time. And one role can be attached to multiple EC2 instances, at the same time also. Nice. I'm giving you one more example for role. I'm giving one more example. Let's say I have one more EC2 instance here. So this is the EC2 instance. And what I did, can we put application inside the EC2 instance? So that application can be developed in your Java also or Python also. Okay, now tell me, Baba application is there. I told you from Baba application also, can you access AWS services? Did I told you yesterday? What you need to download? SDKs you need to download. Yes or no? Right? So from Java, can you, okay, now, can you, from Java, can you create S3 buckets? Yes, you can create. But Java code needs to authenticate to to AWS. Now, first of all, if you want to create the S3 bucket, how do you how that the Java application will authenticate AWS? Do you create IAM user called Java? Do you create IAM user called Java for it? No. So what do you need to do? So the application is inside the EC2 instance, and the application need to access what service? S3. Application need to access what service, Anna? S3. Okay, now you tell me, application need to access S3. Do I put the keys inside the application? Tell me, do I need to put keys into the application? Because if you put that in application, that application is stored in some repository like Git or GitHub, whichever it is. Anyone can see the keys. Is it good to configure the keys in the application? No. So, but application need to access S3, but you should not configure the keys on the application. What is the concept you need to use? Roles. Understood now? So you need to configure the role. And role need to have what permissions? What permissions? S3 permissions. Any confusion? What kind of permission you need to give there? No, right? So I'm saying again, if I'm asking role should have what permissions? What the application needs to access which service? S3, the same permissions you need to give to the role. And this role need to be attached to whom? EC2 instance. Then do you need to configure the keys? No need. Understand? So here, some AWS services will need to perform actions on your behalf. That is the role. So instead of us, role will take care of it. Okay, is this clear? Okay, Nana, see, is this clear on the roles now? Everyone online, is it clear? CC, everyone, please. Chitty. Okay, ma. So now, so we are giving read and write access to, or is it read and write access to business will based on roles? Yes, you can. Sir, what is the need of keys, sir, when we are able to access with roles? If you don't, so we'll learn that, Bhumika. For now, there's keys, basically, you should not expose. That is the only topic. Keys should not be exposed to others. How you can maintain the keys without the keys, how you access AWS services is the role concept. That is a secure way of doing it. But if there is no chance you cannot use the role in for particular scenario or requirement, then in that case, what you need to use? Keys you need to use. No problem. Satya Sai, I mean Saujanya. Temporary access means for maximum how long will be there? It's up to you. Temporary access meaning I can keep for 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 6 months, 1 year also. But anytime can I remove it? Yes, I can remove it. Yes, we can, Vishaka. All your questions got answered? No concept, Dilshar. Okay, so now let's talk about another thing which is very important also. But remember, Nana, I'm telling you one thing. Not all features and all services are free in AWS. Does all the services are free? So, but few services are free. And in the free services also, few things are there, which is like, few features are there, which we cannot do. That's a paid services, paid features. So there is also one more topic which is helpful in the real time, but we cannot do practical on that. But what I do is I always want to give you something extra to you, right? Right? So extra things. So should I give some extra thing on IAM also? Right? So this is a topic which is advanced topic on IAM, which is not required, but still I'm teaching you to get more knowledge. Okay. So that topic here is, we call it as identity provider. What is it? Identity provider or federation, or you can call it as identity center. You can call anything, identity provider or federation or identity center. Okay, so now see here. Have you heard about SSO? Right? Okay, I'll come like this to you. So you have access internet, no? You have been into multiple different websites. When you're going to a new website, they will ask, hey, instead of sign up, they'll ask, log in with Google, log in with LinkedIn, log in with Facebook, log in with Twitter account. Yes or no? So instead of you signing up to the new website, you're using your existing credentials to access the different websites. So you're signing in how many times? One time. You're signing to the Google for one time, but with the same credentials, can you log into multiple websites? Yes. That is called what? Single sign on. SSO. Single sign on. So with single sign on, with only one time sign in, so you can access multiple services. You understand? So how do we do this? Okay, let me give you a real-time example. When you join the company, what does the company will give? ID card. Why we need ID card? Huh? Credentials he'll give, no? Credentials give email ID and then password, or username and password they'll give. Credentials, company email ID and password. Okay. So you have a company email ID and password. And you log into your laptop or desktop. And if you want to access AWS, in AWS also you need to create IAM user, no, with your name. Yes or no? Yes or no? So how many credentials you have now at the moment? 2. One is your company credentials. Another one is AWS credentials. And if you want to log into Azure also, in Azure also you need to create username and password, no? So how many credentials are there now? And if you want to access some other service, there also you need to create. How many will you keep on creating the accounts? You will get confused and need to maintain multiple credentials. Yes or no? Instead of that, with your company email ID and password or username password, with the same email ID and password, same username password, you need to log into AWS without creating IAM user. So then how many credentials you have? Only. With one credentials, you can access multiple services. That is called single sign-on. This is how we use in this real time. Right? You understand? What is so identity provider, federation, identity center, everything, anything related to identity or federation. What is the first thing that you get in your mind? SSO. What is SSO? Single sign-on. SSO. Single sign-on. So Nana, do we have company email ID and password with us now? No, for that reason, I cannot do the practical on this. But we'll take some nasty way to do it, right? Don't worry. So I have a company email and password, and then AWS credentials you need to have. After that only you log into AWS. This is the scenario. So now, how you do it? With company credentials only, directly you log into the AWS. Do you need to have AWS credentials? No. Do I need to create any IAM user here? No need to create IAM user. So with your company, yes. This is called with SSO. You need to set up. So it is the combination of your company and AWS, no? Yes or no? Is it only from AWS? No. This federation will be happening between the company and AWS. So I need to I need to put one hand and the company also put one hand, then only the federation will happen. If I do like this, federation will happen? No. So it is a combination of both company and AWS. For that reason, you need to have a company setup in order to do this. For that reason, I said, and by the way, by the time you join the company, the federation was already created by someone. So you will not be having a chance to do all these things. Just in case if you have joined any startup companies, then you need to do. And doing this is also very easy. No issues. You have documents on this. Okay, now. So I wanted to introduce one topic here. Listen this carefully. Assume this is your company. This is the company. Okay. In company, we'll be having so many servers, desktops, no? Let's take desktops. We have so many desktops. Laptops or desktops, anything is fine. Desktop or laptop, whatever. Okay, we have. Now, listen this carefully. You went into the company. Assume you are the admin. You are the admin. So you are the admin who is maintaining all this lab infrastructure. Now I came to you and I said, hey, I want to log into the first desktop. So will you create user here in the first desktop? Assume that you have created a user called local user. What's that? Local user meaning the user is created inside locally onto the machine. Now another person came and he said, hey, I want to log into the second one. Will you go? So you will be going and creating the user also in the second one. Now 5 people came and they came and said, hey, I want to go into the third one. So you create 5 users there. Next 20 people came and they said, I will be logging here and here and here, here. Will you keep on creating local users like this? It is only 5 servers here. How about if you have 500 servers, 500 laptops, 500 desktops? Will you create local users? Is a local user concept is good? Yes or no? 100% no. So because your life will go, it will be a torture because each and every time people come, you need to create the users inside it. Is that good, Nana? No. So instead of this, I don't want to create the users locally, but I will create the users centrally or globally. Centrally, what I need to do? If let's say, for example, what is his name? Madhu. So if Madhu wants to log into the first laptop, first desktop, you create Madhu in first desktop. Second one, Madhu you create. Third one, Madhu you create. And Teja also came. Teja you create. So is it very hard to create the users in each and every desktops and laptops? Instead of that, what we can do is, can I create these users centrally in one place? Yes or no? And this guy, we call it as Active Directory. What's that? Very powerful topic. Which one is that? Active Directory. And Active Directory is from Microsoft. Active Directory is a feature from Microsoft. You need to install that Active Directory. Where you have the Active Directory, that server, we call it as domain controller. What is that? This is called domain controller. When you join the company called boom.com, example, our company is boom.com. Tell me, how will be the email ID? Tell me the email ID, sample email ID. Let's say we have Madhu. Tell me the email ID of Madhu now. Madhu@boom.com. Yes or no? Madhu@boom.com. Teja boom.com. So like this, @boom.com, right? Boom.com is what? Domain only, no? Domain only, no? So in order to have this, we need to purchase the domain, no? Where do you purchase the domains generally? GoDaddy, Kamami. No, only GoDaddy. There is no Kamami website, right? So okay, I'll talk about the topic. So we need to have a domain, no? So that domain, this is the domain. Boom.com is the domain here. So what I do, I create the users here. User 1, user 2, user 3, user 4. So like this, I'll create it here. So user 1 what? Like this, I'll create. So I created the usernames or email IDs centrally in the domain controller. Where did I create? Domain controller. What we have inside? Active Directory. What do we have? Or in shortcut, call it as AD. What is that? AD, Active Directory. Getting it? So now what I create centrally, I created the users in domain, no? So what are these users called? Can I say domain users? What can I say domain users? Where did I create it? In domain only, no? So if I create users in domain, what is the users called? Domain users. So now what I do is, see, very important. What I do is, can I join all these desktops and laptops to this domain? Can I make the connection? Now what I did, I joined. What I did, I joined to the domain. I joined to all these servers. I joined to the domain. Now user 1 came. User 1 came and he want to log into the first server. User 1 @boom.com and then password blah 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 blah. He log. Tell me, can he log into this first server? Can he log into the first server? Yes. Because how does this desktop knows user 1 @boom.com? Because this guy is already added to the domain. As this desktop is already added to the domain, in domain we have user 1 @boom.com. So this desktop knows user 1 @boom.com. He knows. So whenever user 1 @boom.com logged in, the request will go to whom? Domain controller, and ask, array what domain controller? There is user called user 1. So it is a password. Can you check? Do we have that user inside you? And domain controller will check. User 1 is there. And what is the password? Password is there. If that username password is correct, then only you can log into the desktop. Otherwise, it's a invalid password. Because the password is not matched into the domain controller. Now you tell me, the same user 1 can log into the second server. The same user can log into the third server. Same user 3 can log into the first server. Are you creating the local users now? You create the users only 1 in the domain controller and add thousands of servers to the domain controller, and any user, anytime, anywhere, they can log into any servers. You understand? And this is called Active Directory. What is this called, Nana? This Active Directory in AWS, there is a service, and an Active Directory is a very major service, not from AWS. And to maintain this Active Directory, company will hire so many people. Active Directory is an ocean. It's a big stuff. But this Active Directory is completely managed by in AWS now. So there is a service called Directory Services. What is that? If I say, what is the Active Directory concept in AWS? What you should say? Directory Services. What you should say? And it uses a protocol called LDAP. What is the protocol, Nana? It uses? Say that. LDAP. What is the protocol used by the Active Directory? So this is the company. This is how in the company it will work. And with this user 1 @boom.com, I need to log into AWS also. I need to log into AWS also. Do I need to create IAM users in the AWS? With the same user when at the rate boom.com, I can log into the servers also, desktops also, anywhere in company with the same email ID and password, I need to log into AWS. So what you need to establish between these two? SSO. What you need to do? Federation we need to do. What we need to do? Federation. You have the company and you have the AWS. And with the company credentials, if you want to log into AWS, these two need to be federated. What we need to do? Federate. This is an advanced topic, but you understood? Clear? So with LDAP, so Sana, can we say this here? We have LDAP here on the company. We have LDAP from company to AWS, LDAP to AWS with SSO. You can do the connections. And I'll give you, I'm going a little bit more extra now. In real time, people, those who are working, have you heard about Okta? Okta online. Rupali, Veera, Ravi, everyone says, see this? Those who are working in the real time. So we have Okta, OAuth, right, LDAP, all these are all third-party tools. So it's for verification purpose. So now, instead of LDAP, many company uses, 40, so many. So we have using LDAP also, you can do SSO. You can do with Okta also. Sorry, you can do with the OAuth also. So many are there. So Nana, where do you create the users? You need to create users in here. Yes or no? User 1, user 2, user 3. You need to create here. Where? In LDAP. Yes or no? In LDAP, we need to create. Yes or no? In Active Directory, we need to create. Similar in Okta also, we need to create users. Similar in OAuth also, we need to create users there. In AWS point of view, what we need to create? Create roles. What we need to create? I'll create a role called developer. For developer, what kind of permission should we give? Let's say, can I give Lambda, etc.? So I'll create one more role called admin role, where I'll give full access. And I'll create one more roles I create like DevOps role, which I give EC2, etc. Now see, this LDAP and AWS got already federated, no? Yes or no? That federation, nothing but connection. Did we establish a connection between LDAP and all this? So yeah, this is AWS. So first, these both needs to be federated. Federated is nothing but connection should be established. Yes or no, guys? Federated. Once it is connection is established from the company to AWS, then you create users in here in LDAP, and with that you can log in. See, now I create user 1, and what kind of permissions I need to give to user 1? Can I attach developer to user 1, developer role to user 1? Can I attach admin to user 2? So guys, here Okta or LDAP here URL to access AWS. So this Okta will generate one URL, and using that URL, people can access the AWS. See here, I know it is little bit creepy. See here. If you see me, I'll make you understand. See. So on premises, that meaning company, we have Active Directory. So Active Directory is working on which protocol? LDAP, louder. LDAP. So from company to AWS, can you do SSO? So that meaning federation should happen. Connection should be established. Once the connection is established, then what we need to do with the email ID and password of your company email and password, with the same company email and password, you can log into the AWS. Yes, no? Yes. So with company email ID and password, you're logging into AWS. But how about permissions? What kind of permissions you have? Correct? For that, in AWS, as it is already federated, in AWS, what we need to create? Roles we need to create. Can I create a role based on the job? And then I have users here on the company side. So now as this is federated, this company can access the roles. So I have users inside the company, right? When I open the user, I can attach the roles to the IAM roles here, and the company will give the one URL to you. Using that URL, you can access AWS, and the access you have based on the roles. You got this point? Everyone? So this is how it works in your real time. And I'll give you one more scenario. Is this clear till here? Nana, is this clear? Online, Chitty, is this clear? Question? Aap so rahe? I saw you. Which topic? Then you missed the entire thing. So don't worry. Okay. So in short, actually this topic will be used in your real time. I mean, that meaning from the company to AWS. So I'll tell you one topic now, which can be used by us. Okay, see here. Listen this carefully now. Okay. Now assume I have 1, 2, 3 AWS accounts. How many? AWS accounts. This is one AWS account. This is another AWS account. Can I say this is production account? Huh? Can I say this is dev account? Can I say this is test account? Yes or no? I have 3 different accounts. Yes or no? These are all root accounts or not? Yes or no? These are all root accounts. If you don't understand, don't nod your head. Okay. So I have 3 different accounts. Production account, dev account, test account. All are root accounts. If I want to manage the multiple root accounts, what is the service that I told you to use it? Organizations, correct? No. So on top of it, we need to implement what here? If I want to manage, I need to use organizations. Good. So that means using organizations, can I have control on these 3 root accounts? Everyone, yes? Now, I'm handling this. Now you came in my project. What is your name? Arif. So Arif came. Arif came and said, sir, good morning. I joined the project. Very good. So once he joined the project, I need to give access to AWS account. So I need to give access to how many accounts? How many accounts are there here? So for Arif, I need to create how many users? 1 or 3? 1 using? Will you create 1? General scenario I'm asking. Will you create 1 or 3? Generally. Where do you create? First, second, third? Where do you create the user? Okay, so Arif came. And in front of him, he has 3 rooms. How many rooms are there? 3 rooms. And 3 rooms are locked with the key, lock. So Arif is standing in front of the 3 rooms. Now will you give him 1 key or will you give him 3 keys? 1 key or 3 keys? With 1 key, how can he open 3 locks? So generally you have 3 rooms. Huh? 3 locks are there. I'm saying generally, okay? Don't put the concept on this yet. Huh? I have 3 rooms. 3 rooms are locked. And Arif is here. So I need to give him how many keys to access 3 rooms? 3 keys, no? Yes or no? Huh? You have 3 bikes, ma. With 1 key, can you go with 3 bikes? 3 bikes has 3 different keys, no? Good, okay. Arif is standing here. So I want to give him 3 keys. So handling 3 keys is difficult or not? Yes or no? Now what I do, I told Arif to come back 1 step. He's out of the house now. I have opened all 3 rooms keys and I put the main door lock. Now how many keys I need to give? 1 key, no? So he opened the main door, he went inside and he can enter any of the room. Handling 3 keys is difficult or handling 1 key is difficult? 3 keys. So which one you like? 3 or 1? If you need to have 1 key and access multiple rooms, then you need to use SS4. Understood? So here also, I have 3 rooms. 3 rooms is nothing but here, AWS accounts. Production is 1 account. Dev is 1 account. Test is 1 account. So Arif want to access these 3 accounts. Generally, if we need to access 3 account, I need to create IAM user, no? So if I want to create if I want Arif to access this first account, what I need to create a IAM user here. Yes or no? If you want to access here, I need to create IAM user. If I want to access, I need to create IAM user. How many users are there now? Is it good to have 3 users for Arif? So I don't want to create IAM users to individual accounts. I don't want. I need to create how many now? 1. Where? There is a service in AWS called Identity Center. What is the service? In Identity Center, I create the user here called Arif. Identity Center has access to all these 3 accounts. When I create Arif user in Identity Center it will ask, Babu, you created Arif user good. To which account that you want to give access? If I select all 3, he will have all 3 access. So how many accounts are there now? How many users are there? So this Identity Center will give you URL. In Identity Center, there will be one URL. I'll give this URL to Arif. User is created here, password is created here. He opened this URL, and when Arif opened this URL and he logged in front of him, he can see 3 accounts. With the same username and password, he can log into prod account, dev account, test account. But if I want to give Arif only test account, while creating Arif username in Identity Center, to which account, how many accounts I need to give? Only for 1 account. If I give access to only 1 account, when he logged in with the URL, he can see only 1 account. If I give 2, 2. If I give 3, 3. And how you're doing, and this is nothing but yes. Oh. Okay, na? Now, samajh mein aaya? Clear na? Okay. Yeah, this is within AWS. There is no LDAP. LDAP is from the company side. This one is within AWS. Within AWS. Is it clear, Nana? Everyone online? Super. So you want like this advanced topic or not? Will you able to handle it? Huh? If you say no, how can you work? Right? You should, right? But that's fine. So every time I don't say, but when there is a related things, I'll give this advanced topic. Otherwise, okay. Okay, Nana. So let's come back to our normal topics. I just wanted to give something extra, but your hands are full. So, okay. IAM tags. What is that? Let's come to our normal thing. Okay. Okay. But see, advanced topic is like, so you want, let's say you're repairing cycle. Will you keep on repairing cycle only? Don't you feel to repair bike? Later, don't you feel to repair car? You need to grow, no? So you should not get scared when I told you some deeper additional advanced topics. So listen it, take it, right? And then try to explore on it a little bit. Okay. So don't stop me not to say advanced topics. It's bad for you on. Okay. Nice. Okay. Now what is this? IAM tags. Okay. So now let me make your mind a little bit free. What is this topic called? IAM tags. I'm giving an example. You and your friend, you're going to a shopping mall. Okay. And your friend, all of a sudden, she saw a nice jeans. Nice jeans. And she said, Arif, or someone, anyone, I want that jeans. Can you please? So, what is the first thing that you go and check? Right? What is that? Price tag. By tag, right? Tag, right? So, let's same thing. So here you saw a jean, and the first thing that you go and search for what? Tag. What does the tag contain? Price 10,000. Okay, so price 10K. Mahesh is asking size. Size you only know, we don't know. Next, what we have? Brand. What brand? Armani. Armani starts with 20,000, right? So, okay, what else? Tell me one brand, no? Levi's, okay, Levi's. Okay, Levi's. So, okay, so colors and etc. will be there. So, what I wanted to say here is, what is a tag? What does the tag contain? Information. What does the tag contain? Information, right? So here, brand, can I say it's a key and we have a value? Levi's, or yes is there, no? Whatever, right? Yes or no? Lulu brand. Sarath. Okay, Pepe jeans, whatever. So here, tag meaning it's a key value pair. Can we say that? What is a tag? Tag is a key value pair. So what is the key here? Brand. Value is Levi's. You're getting it? So can we say tags are used for identification purpose? Let's say, for example, shopkeeper is there and he has 100 jeans. If you don't have a tag, is it easy to manage? Not manage. So if you come and ask, hey, how much is the price? He'll say, I don't know. So the sales will not happen, right? Here also, when you launch 100 EC2 instances, without giving a proper tag, will you be able to identify which EC2 instance is used by which person, which team? No. You need to give the names, no? Right? What is a tag? Tags are used for identification purpose. And if someone asks what is a tag, say that tag is a key value pair. What is that? Key value pair. What is the tag, Nana? Key value pair. Certification question. So tags are key value pair. Can we say tags are used for identification purpose? Tags are used for identification purpose. And remember, these tags are not IAM specific. It is for entire AWS. Tag is meaning Nishana, like, just give, you need to give the information, right? So for EC2, you need to put a tag. For S3 bucket, you need to put a tag. For RDS, you need to put a tag because information, right? So tags are not IAM specific. It is throughout AWS. So tags are very important or not? Tags are very important. Tags are very important, but it is optional. It is, if you want to manage it properly, manage it. Same in shopkeeper, if you want to manage the tags, is it mandatory? No. So if you want to manage it properly, put the tags. Otherwise, you go mad. Simple as that. Okay, let's say, for example, you went and launched one EC2 instance. So you need to give the name for this EC2 instance, no? Name is equal to, let's say, web server. Can you give the name for this? What is that called? Name is equal to web server is called what? Tag. Name is what here? Key. Web server is what here? Value. So tags are key value pair. Tags are key value pair. Now, how many tags you can have per resource? 50 tags. How many tags you can attach? I created IAM user called Arif. Can I put a tag for him? Arif team, AWS team, phone number, this, 2 tags are done. Address, Hyderabad, department, this, manager, this, contact number, this. Like this, how many tags you can have per resource? 50 tags. How many, Nana? That is certification question. So per resource, how many tags? Per resource, maximum 50 tags. Okay, so I'm giving one example. Let's assume you have 500 IAM users. How many? 500 IAM users. So inside this, we have so many people. There are from DevOps people, DevOps are there, admins are there, security related things are there, and then DBS also there. So many are there. Now I asked Madhu, hey Madhu, go and delete all DBA IAM users. Understand the problem statement. I said Madhu to go and delete all DBA IAM users. Does he know how many are there? Does he know who are there? He came and we said, go to IAM, 500 users are there, go and delete DBA people. How he need to identify it? Based on? If there is no tag, gone case. Yes or no? So for every user, he need to have a tag. For what he need to do? So he need to go to each and every user or not to check the tag. So user 1, he go to tag, he is from DevOps. Okay. User 2, he is from admin. User 3, this guy is from DBA. Delete. And like this, he need to go with all 500 users or not? What is that called? So basically, we have 2 types of people, Nana. I'm giving you philosophy for next 1 minute. So we have 2 types of here. One is called hard worker. Who is that? Another guy? Hey, very good. So smart worker. So going and doing, searching manually, going and doing all, deleting all 500 users is a hard worker or not? Yes. What he's doing, he's manually going all 500 users and then delete one by one. One by one. It'll take a lot of time or not? Take a lot of time. What the smarter worker will do? You are a smart worker, no? Tell me what you do. Chapu? Okay, there is an announcement. Mr. Srikanth sir is telling Linux batch will start from November 1st, 4 p.m. Okay, free. It's complimentary for you. So please, I would recommend to have the Linux also with you. It's very good. Okay. Okay, now, so come back here. So how does the smart worker will do for this? Smart worker, what he do is, he don't want to go with all each and every IAM users. He write one small script. What he do? All smart. What is our favorite scripting language? Buss. What is that? Python. So this Python, what he do is, he write a small Python code. And you also know need to write. Google Talli is there. Go and search. You will get the snippet. And you should be able to, you should be in the position to understand that Python code. That's it. Right? You know to go and do the deep dive on full stack Python, not required. Right? Basic minimum Python knowledge. If you have it, what you do is you write a small code. I'm just putting the logic. What is the code? Delete all IAM users where key is equal to name, value is equal to DBA. That meaning I have given the tag, no? Don't think I'm writing a query, SQL query. No, this is not SQL query. So I'm just putting the logic. So you write like this and then execute. So within one shot, DBA IAM users will be deleted. And rest of the time you go and enjoy with your friend. Go to movie and whatever, right? So what, you don't have friend? So okay, you understand? So what I said is Python, you understand how Python is useful in AWS? If you want to automate things, what is it? If you want to automate things, one scripting language is must. That's what I said for you. If you want to have a nice career for the next decade and a half, AWS, DevOps, Linux, Python. Because nowadays, in most of the companies, they are going with the Linux. Because which one is cheaper, Linux or Windows? Linux is open source, no? Doesn't require any license. For Microsoft, we need to have purchased a license. For that reason, for cost optimization purpose, so many people are going with the Linux. They are putting applications on the Linux-based machines. So for that reason, it is good to go for you to learn Linux. So that's what here, or Mr. Imran is teaching Linux for you separately. So just attend when you have time, just go and attend it. So you will get a Linux knowledge. So keep this next 3 to 4 months, including all AWS, DevOps, Linux, everything. So focus this next 3 to 4 months and you will be good with the technology. You don't need to look back or you want it to come back also. Okay. So, okay, Nana. So do you understand this? Sir, do you teach DevOps as well? No, Nana, no DevOps. Okay. So now, can we say that tags are helpful for doing automations in AWS? Okay, let's write down. Tags are helpful for doing automation in AWS. Okay, let's say, for example, guys, see here, I have 100 EC2 instance. Okay, let's say I have a create a IAM user called Arif. Okay, how many tags I can have for Arif? Maximum. Like team is admin and his email, right? His phone, his address, right? And then which unit he is in, right? Etc. Like this, you can have maximum how many? 50 tags. Tell me, let's say, for example, I have 100 EC2 instances, right? I have 100 EC2 instances. So, and out of this, 50 instances are used by DevOps people. 50 instances are used by DevOps people. And all these 50 instances, DevOps people said, hey, we are not using in the night. Will you keep on running in the night if you are not using? What you need to do? If you're not in the room, is it good to switch on the fan? No, what you do? Off. So here also what you need to do? Stop. What you need to do? Stop. So we have 50 machines. How do you stop? I'm triggering your mind. Think and say, I have 50 EC2 instances. I want to stop all these EC2 instances automatically. How do I do it? Using what? Lambda. Very good. Can I use Lambda functions with the combination of tags? Fantastic. So you can use Lambda functions for this. Okay. Is it clear till here? So, and then we have very small jujube things in IAM, like something called credentials report. What is it, Nana? All of a sudden your manager asks, hey, credentials report. All of a sudden your manager asks, give me the list of users that you have in IAM. Will you go and write one by one? There will be a report. If you click on download, this report will be generated. Give it to the manager. Simple as that. Okay. That is called IAM credentials. So a report that lists all your account users and the status of their various credentials. That is called credentials report. Okay, so one more important thing is IAM Access Advisor. What is that? Say that. IAM Access Advisor. Name clearly says, what is this? Access Advisor. Let's say, for example, I'll take Teja. So I gave some work to her to do some work on EC2, for example. I gave a lot of work to her to work on EC2. And she came to me next day and said, sir, I tried a lot, but I could not able to do it. How do I believe? As a manager, I have that cracky thinking, right? How do I believe that you tried? So what I do is, I went to IAM. So there will be IAM user called Teja, no? So there will be an option called Access Advisor. So I have given permissions to Teja for EC2, no? If you go to Access Advisor, it will clearly say when she was last accessed. When the EC2 service was last accessed, there it says NA, not available. Then did she log into the account itself or not? No. She's fooling me that she tried. Yes or no? As a manager, can I clearly say, find out who worked on which service on at what time? I can. That is called Access Advisor. I created username called IAM user called Arif, and I have given EC2 S3 permissions. Right? If I go to Arif Access Advisor, I can clearly say Arif has what access and when he has last accessed. That is called Access Advisor. So it shows the service permissions granted to user and when those were last used. Okay. And then you have something called Access Analyzer. What is that, Nana? These are all very small things. Access Analyzer meaning name clearly says, what is that? Access. You understand what the name is? Access Analyzer. It is analyzing what kind of access it has. Let's say I have 500 IAM users, right? And then for some people you have given full access. Some people you have given some other access. Some people you have given read-only access. Is it good to give full access, read access and all? No. So if your manager says, hey, go and check what kind of permissions that you have given for 500 users. Is it easy? No, if you go and create one access analyzer, it will generate a report. It generates a report saying that what kind of permission, what kind of which is full access, the bigger kind of things, which is important for security. Those kind of things will be will be generated. Based on that, you can take the action. So it is just to report what kind of access that you have for all the users. So if any fishy thing is there, you can go and take the action. That is called Access Analyzer. And after that, can you set the password policies? You know what is password policies? Setting password policies. When you're setting up a new password in any website, it'll ask 1%, 8 characters, one letter should be there, one capital letter should be there, What are all these called? Password policy only. So for IAM users, you need to, they will create your password, no? For IAM users also, you can set the nice password policies. So if you have any, let's say, for example, any grudge on anyone, give 20 characters of, you put one policy with 20 characters and at least minimum 10 uppercase. So he will never create his password because it's very hard, right? Now, is this clear? So what are the things that we have discussed here? We have discussed about IAM users. Yes or no? IAM groups. Babu, yes or no? IAM users, IAM groups, IAM policies we have discussed. IAM roles we have discussed. And finally, federations we have discussed. Okay. Tags is just a feature. Okay. So all these things will form a IAM service. Congratulations. We are done with IAM theory part. Okay. Clear? And of course, yes, correct, Deepthi. Guys, let's say if you want to manage multiple root accounts, what is the concept? Managing multiple root accounts. What is that? Organizations. So I have asked you to set up a root account. Yes or no? I have asked to set up one root account. Setting up one root account itself is difficult. If you want to work on organizations, how many root accounts should be there? Minimum 2 or 3 should be there. Are you ready to create 3 accounts? Amma, sir, no issues, no worry. It's not there. I'll show you from my side. So you no need to create, but it's very easy. So this is root account, root account, root account, root account, root account. So if you want to manage, what is the main account called? Excellent. Management account. What are these account called? Member account. Member account. And how do you manage these root accounts? Using what? What is that? SCP. What is SCP? Service Control Policies. SCP. Fantastic. Okay, good. So what we do is on Monday, tomorrow is Sunday, there is no class, of course, right? And Monday, we'll do the practicals on IAM. Whatever we have discussed, we'll do the practicals. Take the screenshots. Okay, na? Done. And the second one. And the last. Okay. Nice. Good. Okay, so guys, can I give the final CC for today, please? To analyze the axis, Priyanka. There's nothing much there. CC with smile, please. Great. So that is all, guys, for today. And I'll see you on Monday with the next practicals of this IAM. Until then, take care. Bye-bye. Have a nice day and have a nice weekend too. See you on Monday, guys. Bye-bye.